Hi everyone, my name is Valerie Clausen and this is the case study Every Day Counts. The summary of the case: Mr. Rhodes, the principal of Golden Oaks High School, has been asked to improve the attendance rate of his school. Last year, Golden Oaks had the lowest percentage of attendance in the district, and this first semester of the year, 85% of students missed over 10 days. So here are just the facts: the who, the what, and the where. There are four main entities involved in this case study: the homeroom teachers, athletic director, the students, and the parents. The what: Mr. Rhodes needs to find a way to improve his school's attendance, and he picked out 5 students who missed more than 10 days to closely review their files. And we'll get more into that in just a second. And the where is Golden Oaks High School, where there are 965 students and 11 sports teams. So here are the 5 students that he picked out and some key details about each one. So Karen is a junior. She has gotten all A's and B's as a lowerclassman. Then she got married her junior year, which led to a drop in attendance and a drop in grades. And her parents would like to be involved in the situation. Tyrone is a sophomore. He is enrolled in the honors program. His parents like to excuse him from school for academic field trips. And each time that happened, his parents guaranteed that he would make up the missing work. Christina is a freshman this year. She has low grades. She is usually absent in large chunks at a time. And there are notes from her minister requesting her to be excused for religious meetings. Carl is a sophomore this year. He's enrolled in regular classes and vocational classes, and he has been referred to the truancy office. The officer went and talked to his parents, and officer reported back that parents do not value school attendance. And lastly, there was John. John is the junior. He's the football quarterback, star player, and he did have an injury which requires physical therapy, and the only time it can be scheduled is during school hours. And on top of all of that missing time from school, the athletic director has also requested extra time for him to be gone so he can rest on football days, on game days. So here are the ethical and legal dilemmas of the case. 3 main questions: has anyone been hurt? Did the actions break the law? And was there a breach of contract? Well, first of all, has anyone been hurt? Yes, the students involved are being hurt, even if they think that they're okay right now. They are being robbed of the opportunity to get the education that they need. In turn, the school is being hurt because grades are going to drop, reputations are at stake, and then on top of that, the stakeholders: if the school is suffering, then we know the stakeholders are going to suffer, because funding is going to be lowered, and possible job loss, which is why the teachers are going to be hurting. So yes, all of the main entities are being hurt. Did the actions break the law? Well, the attendance policy does follow the law, and so if teachers are excusing students for reasons that are outside the attendance policy, then yes, the law is being broken. There are only 3 reasons to excuse a student, and that would be for illness, death in the family, or if the principal approves it. And all of these situations had excused absences that were not for one of those options, one of those reasons. And then lastly, was there a breach of contract? Well, teachers are contractually obligated to report attendance correctly, and they have not been doing that. And so yes, there was a breach of contract. Here are some other mostly ethical issues. The athletic director is showing favoritism toward one player. Teachers are not following the school policies on excused absences. Students are starting to see a culture that absenteeism is okay and that they will not get in trouble for it. And then the parents are requesting to excuse their students for reasons outside school, and they are getting away with it, and they will continue to get away with it until something changes. Well, moving on to section 3, we're going to synthesize the situation into just one sentence. Students are missing an unacceptable number of days, and Mr. Rhodes needs to find a way to get all stakeholders on board with a plan to improve the attendance of the school. In section 4, we're going to synthesize the facts. You are going to see the people, the place, and the program. So starting with people, again, the 4 main entities, and let's just kind of look at all of these things, and it looks like it has cut off down at the bottom, so I'm sorry about this. But 85% of the students are chronically absent. So 85% of the students at the school are involved in this issue. The demographics of the students are becoming more diverse right now. We have high and low achieving students being represented in this group, meaning that it's not just the kids who are failing their classes that are missing classes. So that's an interesting little side note. The administrators involved are Mr. Rhodes, the principal, and Dr. Newman, the superintendent. Parents, some little key ideas about the parents. Most of them spend lots of time commuting to work, which leaves very little time for them to spend with their children at home. And some are supportive of attendance and some are not. And so there's something that needs to be done about that. And lastly, the teachers. Most of the teachers are tenured, but they are not following policies concerning attendance. And so we need to be respectful of the teachers who are tenured and have been at this school for a very long time, respect their ideas, but we also need to make sure that they are following policies. So then the place and the program is Golden Oaks High School. It is a suburban community. It's next to a larger metropolitan area. It has 11 sports and 31 clubs, and you see how clever I am over here. I said football is the dominant sport. I thought that was pretty clever. We have 965 students in grades 9 through 12, and most of the families are middle class. I combined sections 6 and 7 to identify options and state the pros and cons of each one. So I had 5 options. The first one was to do nothing and hope that everything just fixes itself. And so that one's kind of just we're not going to do that. But so the pro would be that it's very easy. Easiest thing to do is nothing. Con is it's probably not going to work. So moving on to number 2, perfect attendance rewards, offering those at the end of every year for the students who have 0 unexcused absences. A pro is that we're focusing on the positive. We're not worrying about the kids who did not achieve this goal, but we are rewarding the ones who did. A con would be that we need to get the students to buy into this reward and really be going for it, and that's kind of hard to do. Number 3, offer incentives to students to come or compete or have a competition between classes or grades. So it would be kind of like the grade level with the most attendance gets this certain thing, or something along those lines. And again, that would be focusing on the positives. And if it's a group, then the students might rally together to get their friends to come to school. Cons, the frustrating. Students who don't value this might ruin it for others. Number 4, um, to have more strict punishments for absences. And this is kind of taking the other side of the approach. It forces students to come because they don't want to be punished for not coming. But the con, again, it would be focusing on the negative. And the last one, we could offer trainings for teachers on the expectations regarding the policies. It kind of gets straight to the point of the problem that the teachers need to make this change. But it is a sudden change, and students would kind of be caught off guard, being expected to come more than they did before. So here's section 9. Section 8, that comes first. So the final decision, after discussing and evaluating all the options with the stakeholders, a decision was reached. Professional development training will be held before the first day of school after Christmas break to go over new expectations on teachers regarding attendance, so that all teachers will already be on board. All absences need to be sent to the office before being filed as excused. This way it is not up to the teacher to decide what is excused anymore. The homeroom class with the fewest unexcused absences each week will earn pajamas and popcorn the following Monday. This is something that can happen every week for just one homeroom class. And lastly, anyone with 0 unexcused absences and all A's and B's in their classes will be excused from taking their finals. So large incentive for individuals to come to school, and there's a small incentive to get groups of individuals to come. So kind of going both ways on focusing on the positives. And lastly, section 9 is the implementation. So in stage 1, I would say we need to talk to our athletic director about this first. I would worry that he might take this as a personal offense, and I don't want to lose him because I value everyone at this school. And so I will have a conversation with him about the absences afforded to the star players of the school. Stage 2 is to talk to the parents about this, let them know that this change is coming, and warn them. So letters sent home to all the parents of children who have missed more than 10 days, explaining the importance of attending school, and also letting them know that their child has missed X number of days, so that they know. Maybe they weren't aware of how many days they had missed. And lastly, making sure that the teacher's opinions about the matter is a positive opinion is so, so important, because if the teachers are not presenting this as a big deal, then the students won't buy in and they won't care about the incentives or the competitions. So teachers need to be having daily conversations about why attendance is important with their students. So that is my plan, and after Christmas break, we will implement it. Thank you so much for listening to my case study.